Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a whole new way of looking at your body. And honestly, it could change everything you thought you knew about health and longevity. For decades, the entire health conversation has been about one thing, right? Fighting fat. It's all about the scale, counting every last calorie. It's just this constant, exhausting battle. But here's a thought. What if fat isn't actually the real enemy? What if it's just a symptom of something much, much deeper going on?
So, to get to the real root of the problem, we've got to shift our focus completely. Instead of being obsessed with what we're trying to lose, we need to start thinking about what we need to build. We need to zero in on the single most important organ system for aging well. And you might be surprised to hear that organ is your muscle.
And this quote right here from Dr. Gabrielle Lyon just nails it. Muscle is the organ of longevity. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It gets to the very heart of this new idea. See, muscle isn't just for athletes or bodybuilders anymore. It's literally the command center for your long-term health. I mean, think about it. Your skeletal muscle does way more than just help you lift things and walk around. It's a powerful endocrine organ. Basically, it's a gland. It releases these amazing molecules that fight inflammation. It's also your body's main storage tank for amino acids, which are so crucial for repair and just being resilient. And here's the big one. It's the #1 place your body disposes of glucose, sugar. In fact, so many metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes, they often start right here, in unhealthy muscle, sometimes decades before you'd ever get a diagnosis. So you see how this just reframes the entire health crisis? It turns it on its head. For so many people, the real problem isn't that they're over-fat. It's that they're fundamentally under-muscled. The extra fat, well, that's just a consequence of the muscle not being able to do its job properly. And here's a powerful way to picture it. When your muscle quality goes down, it can literally become infiltrated with fat, just like a marbled steak. It's a pretty intense image, right? But that's what happens. And that unhealthy tissue, well, it can't contract the way it's supposed to, and it totally loses its ability to manage your metabolism. That's what kicks off this whole cascade of problems, starting with things like insulin resistance. And no surprise, our modern diet is a huge part of the problem, a big contributor. The source material for this explainer points out that for a lot of us, something like 70% of our daily calories come from refined carbs and processed oils. And those are sources that do next to nothing to support our muscle health. In fact, they can even harm it. Okay, so how do we fix this? Where do we even start? Well, the solution is built on two really powerful pillars. And the first one is all about nutrition. It's simple. We have to start feeding our muscles what they actually need to thrive and do their job as this incredible metabolic engine. This right here, this is the foundation. It's all about rebuilding healthy muscle. And it starts by prioritizing high-quality protein. I'm not talking about as a little side dish, but as the absolute centerpiece of every single meal. The target we're going to talk about is ambitious. Yeah, but it's so critical. And mastering that first meal of the day, wow, that sets the entire metabolic tone for the rest of the day. So let's get really clear on this target number. We're aiming for 1 gram of high-quality protein per pound of your ideal body weight. Got that? Ideal body weight. So if your goal is to be a healthy 150 pounds, you're aiming for 150 grams of protein a day. This is the number that the research really points to for optimizing muscle health. And as you're about to see, it's way, way higher than what most people think they need. Okay, let's talk about breakfast, because it's such a huge, critical opportunity. A standard breakfast, cereal, toast, maybe a muffin, it barely even makes a blip on the radar for your muscles. But a muscle-centric breakfast, one with, say, 40 to 50 grams of protein, that maximally stimulates what's called muscle protein synthesis. That's just the fancy term for the process of repairing and building healthy muscle tissue. It's literally like flipping a switch that tells your body, okay, time to get stronger. And this chart really shows the huge gap between just surviving and actually thriving. The current official recommendation, the RDA, is just, well, it's tiny. For a 115-pound woman, it works out to about 45 grams of protein for the whole day. But here's the kicker. That's just the bare minimum to prevent deficiency disease, like scurvy or something. It has nothing to do with what's optimal for building a strong, resilient body that's going to last you for a long, healthy life. But listen, diet alone isn't going to cut it. It's just not enough. And that brings us to the second pillar of this whole strategy. You've got to give your muscles the right stimulus. You have to actually use them. This is how we build what Dr. Lyon calls our body armor. I love this analogy. Think of it like this. All that protein you're eating, those are the bricks being delivered to a construction site. But the bricks just sit there, right?
Resistance training, lifting weights, doing push-ups, whatever, that's the foreman showing up and yelling, "All right, crew, let's build this wall." You absolutely need both working together. That synergy is where the magic happens for creating and keeping healthy muscle.
And this is so important to understand. Being sedentary isn't neutral. It's not just a lack of activity. The science is really clear on this. It's an active disease state. It's a process that literally degrades your muscle and your metabolic health. I mean, they've done studies on young, lean, perfectly healthy college students, and they found that these kids developed insulin resistance in their muscles just from being inactive for a short time. That's wild. Seriously, contracting your muscles through resistance training is like unlocking your body's own personal pharmacy. It's incredible. It forces your muscles to suck up glucose from your blood without even needing insulin to help. It releases these powerful anti-inflammatory molecules called myokines. It stimulates something called BDNF, just like Miracle-Gro for your brain. And of course, it builds the raw strength you need to just navigate life and fight off that age-related decline. All right, so let's put it all together. When you combine these two pillars, I'm talking about feeding your muscle the right stuff and then using your muscle the right way, you create this incredibly powerful new blueprint for your health, for your vitality, for the long haul. And listen, the payoff here is so much bigger than just looking better or being able to lift heavy things. This is about fundamentally changing the entire trajectory of how you age. It's about building a body that's way more resilient to getting sick, that has a sharper brain, more stable moods, and this is the key, a longer health span. That means more years of active, vibrant life, not just more years. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's really this: shifting your focus away from this endless war on fat and turning it into a mission. A mission to build muscle is probably the single most powerful investment you can make in your own longevity. It completely redefines the goal. It's no longer about just losing weight. It's about building the very engine that will carry you healthy and strong deep into your future.